Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday, the midweek edition of your favorite program on television, Inside Nigeria. Of course, you are aware that Inside Nigeria is a breakfast show where we review and discuss fun headline stories on some select newspapers in Nigeria. My name is Winifred Ugbebo, your host of the program. As usual on the program, we have an array of newspapers for review, including Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. And of course, also as we do normally on the program, we like to flag off with Nigeria's most influential leadership. Leadership's leading story says hardship, labor protest ground states. Hardship, labor protest ground states. NLC suspends protest, gives federal government fresh 14-day ultimatum. Lawmakers recommend food stamps to ease ordeal. Falana seeks social security bill. Hardship, labor protest ground states. NLC suspends protest, gives federal government fresh 14-day ultimatum. Lawmakers recommend food stamps to ease ordeal. Falana seeks social security bill. And of course, beneath that, we have photos of the protests that took place across the country yesterday. From Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, we have protesters carrying placards demonstrating against the hardship in the country. Beside that, we have federal government dismisses report of who's care. CBN unveils aggressive monetary overhaul. 20 million naira bounty, another wanted FCT kidnapper arrested. 7 die as Yobe records 214 meningitis cases. And about that, the Strip says Senate investigates 30 trillion naira ways and means disbursement. Senate investigates 30 trillion naira ways and means disbursement. The story runs on page 10 of Leadership. And of course, on the business boss of the paper, we have Leadership Conference. Mogalu provides insights on economy. Leadership Conference. Mogalu provides insights on economy. The former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Kingsley Mogalu, has given a snippet of the issues that will headline his discussion as the keynote speaker at Leadership Conference on March 5, 2023. And of course, that is taking place next week. About the mindset of leadership, government killed Nasarawa village head, 28 others. Tinubu okay's plan to restrict expatriates inflows. The story is on page 10 of Leadership. From the cover, we move to the page 3 of the paper where we have our stand. Our stand today is on Stop Capital Flight, Hail the Naira. Stop Capital Flight, Hail the Naira. From our stand, we go over to the back page of the paper where we have Wednesday column with Olufunke Barua. She's writing on the disappearing middle class. The disappearing middle class. For more on this, the editorial inside pages, and of course continuation of headline stories, log on to the website of Leadership, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, we move to Vanguard. Vanguard has similar story of the labor protest that took place yesterday, and it says Nigerian Labour Congress gives 17-point demand to Tinubu suspends protest. NLC gives 17-point demand to Tinubu suspends protest. Makinde joins protest in Oyo, says there's anger in the land. Protest needless, presidency. Says legitimate concerns being addressed. The story runs on page 5 of Vanguard. Above the masthead of Vanguard, we have suspicious $26 billion passed through Binance Nigeria in 1 year, Cardoso, the CBN governor. Suspicious $26 billion passed through Binance Nigeria in 1 year, according to Cardoso. Edo Guba, Igodalo bears Shaibu, orders for support, promises inclusive government as PDP hands him certificate of return. More crisis in Labour Party as Imaswagbo claims victory. ABGA is party to beat Osipo. CBN jacks up benchmark interest rate to 22.75%. Begins weekly sale of $15.7 million to 785 BDCs. Tinubu explains petrol subsidy removal decision. Of course, the story runs on page 2 of Vanguard. For more and continuation of these headline stories, you log on to the website of Vanguard, www.vanguardngr.com. From Vanguard, we move to Daily Sun. Daily Sun also has similar story on its cover story on NLC protests that took place yesterday. NLC defies threats, grants Abuja states with protests. Leading story on Daily Sun today, Wednesday, February 28, 2024. NLC defies threats, grants Abuja states with protests. We are protesting hunger, non-implementation of minimum wage at Jero. Protest needless, legitimate concerns being addressed, presidency. Of course, just like leadership, we have photos of the protests that took place across the nation yesterday on its lead cover. Beneath that, we have Senate proposes 6-year single term for CBN governor deputies. Considers electoral bill to allow candidates appoint polling agents. Divestment, IOC is free to exit NNPC Limited. The story is on page 25 of Daily Sun. And just above that, we have removal of petroleum subsidy challenging but for long-term energy security. Tinubu. Benue governor probes autumn. I'm ready for you, as governor says. Energy transition, Nigeria makes U-turn, says oil production will continue. 3 die as 14 passenger boats capsizes in Lagos. Building collapse kills 5, 26 rescued in Onitsha. Certificate suspend new guidelines on nurses stroke midwives. Reps direct NMCN. Food insecurity, Senate asks Tinubu to commence food stamp program. How Kalu made Aba Power Project possible, OT, Nanji. Ohaneze hates Naji causing jeans breaker. And just before we leave the listen, we move to the stories just beside the masthead. CBN raises interest rate to 22.75%, pays out $400 billion forex request. These are the headline stories today on Daily Sun. Today, Wednesday, February 28, 2024. For continuation of these headline stories, inside stories, and of course the editorial, log on to the website of Daily Sun, www.sunnynewsonline.com. From Daily Sun, we move to The Guardian. Guardian's headline story says MPC decision. Concerns for OPS as CBN moves against inflation, Naira speculators. MPC decision. Concerns for OPS, that is organized private sector, as CBN moves against inflation, Naira speculators. And underneath that story, we have pictures of the protests that also took place yesterday. Beside that, we have Senate begins probe of Buhari government's 30 trillion naira loan Ajakuta steal. Government key village head policemen orders in Nasarawa. NLC suspends protest, gives federal government 2-week ultimatum to address hardship orders. Hardship, Makinde joins as workers protest in Oyo, Osun, Ondo, Ekiti. Mixed reactions straight Tinubu's implementation of Orosaye's report. 5 died, 26 rescued in Onitsha market building collapse. Blackout, residents, businesses in dire streets over high tariffs on electricity generator use. These are the headline stories today on The Guardian. For more on this continuation of these headline stories, inside pages and the editorial back page, you log on to the website of The Guardian, www.guardian.ng. From The Guardian, we move to the last paper on our menu, and that is This Day. This day's leading story says, in unprecedented offensive to tame inflation, CBN raises MPRO to 22.75% from 18.75%. In unprecedented offensive to tame inflation, CBN raises MPR to 22.75% from 18.75%. The headline story today on This Day, and of course the riders. Cardoso, Apex Bank has settled additional $400 million verified forex backlogs. Says unidentified users access $26 billion on Binance platform. Insists bank has responsibility to protect consumers. Declares market distortions undervalued Naira. Vows punishment for culprits. Increase in MPR hurtful to risk sector operators. Man urges Apex Bank to adopt managed float exchange rate system. These are the riders for the headline story today. In unprecedented offensive to tame inflation, CBN raises MPRO to 22.75% from 18.75%. And just above that, after relative success at day one of nationwide protest, NLC suspends rallies. Workers defy clampdown threat, troop out. Algeria federal government should tackle hunger, poverty. State by state situation report captured by THISDAY continues on page 5 of the paper. Bill to amend CBN Act passes second reading at Senate. Tinubu decision to remove petrol subsidy challenging but necessary. Kyari says NNPC won't block divesting IOCs. Lokobiri insists companies onshore exit not lost to Nigeria. CBN approves forest sale to BDCs to curtail price distortions at retail market. The story runs on page 39 of the paper. These are the headline stories today on THISDAY. For more, log on to the website of THISDAY, www.thisdaylive.com. And from THISDAY, we come to the end of today's Inside Nigeria. Fortunately, we don't have a guest in the house today to throw more light on some of the headline stories. But don't forget, 12 we have news at noon. 4 today we have also news at 4. While 5 o'clock we have our current affairs program, The Big Issue. Don't forget to stay tuned for these programs. My name is Winifred Ubebo. Until we come your way again, same time, same station, tomorrow, same time. I am wishing you best of today. Take care. See you.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio.